Hi, I'm Keith Allan, and I play Murphy on Z Nation, and I listen to One Up Gaming Podcast.
It's the One Up Gaming Podcast, hosted by David, Sean, and Zach.
And we're live on air on Googly Hangouts.
Googly Hangouts.
Yep, Googly Hangouts, that's how you say it.
Googly.
I've got a cough now.
Oh no.
I've had a really bad, sore nose and sore throat all week. It's always the case, though. Anyway, One Up Gaming, episode 124 or 125, depending when this goes out. But this is just a quick intro. This is going to be our chat with the amazing actor that plays Murphy on Z Nation, or as they call it, Z Nation, because the Americans are weird. So Keith Allan, that's who I spoke to, and depending on scheduling, this will either go up this week or next week. But you'll hear this when you hear it, so it doesn't really matter when you hear it. So, were you at college or something, university, Zach, or work, or...?
Work.
So
Yeah,
what do you actually, is it like a 9 till 5 job, or...?
Yeah. Weekdays 9 to 5. So, I work the time of day where you're supposed to work. In your daytime.
I get isolated, because, I'm asleep when everyone else is awake.
Yeah,
and then when I'm trying to email and message people...
Yeah, your life is literally backwards.
I know.
It's like you see that setting in your iPhone where you can turn all of the colours inverted? You're that setting.
Really.
Oh, no,
Right.
don't worry about it.
I don't touch my phone that much. It just sits there.
No,
But
neglected.
anyway, LFG 2000, greetings to you too. It's a pleasure to see you again. Well, your text on screen anyway. So, as I said, this episode, we're not really going to talk about what we've been playing or what we've been doing. I managed to get just under a 50-minute chat with Keith, and yeah, it was amazing. It's the first, what I would consider a true celebrity that I've talked to in my life.
I don't know, do you know there's a guy on YouTube who makes videos called Tom Scar? Do you know who he is? No, don't worry about it. I was going to say I met him on Wednesday. I went to a book signing. He released a book and I was like, I'll go down and say hi. And I did. Got a selfie.
And you bought one.
Yeah.
How much was the book?
Well, it was £10 for the book and to meet him and for him to sign the book and all that kind of stuff. And get pictures and all that, It's like a nice little package.
How much is the hour? Yeah.
I actually don't know. I think it's $8.99. I think.
So you're paying a couple of quid.
I've got it here.
You're paying a
Where
couple
is
of quid.
No,
Advertise his book.
no, it's still 90. It's $9.99.
Oh, so you paid his time's worth 1p to sign it and his picture taken with you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Hold up the book. I want to have a look at it.
It's a little comic book, and it just has
Is it all like black and white and?
Yeah, it's got on the it's like silly little comic strips. I don't know if this is against the law to do this, but so but it's quite cool. And you put a little message from me on the inside. It says, "Zach, you make me feel romantic things," which is nice of him.
I tell you what, if it was me, I would have signed it saying, "Zach, you make me touch myself."
Oh my god!
Anyway, so we'll play this interview that we've got. Obviously, for you Twitch people and Google Hangouts people, you won't hear this. You'll have to download our podcast to get it, because I'm not going to sit here and play a 15-minute video file in silence, because I haven't edited it all yet. So we'll be back in just under an hour.
Hey man, you know what's awesome? Tacos, like 30 of them. And rolling your own smokes, that's awesome too. But you know what? Sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I just feel like ordinary papers aren't enough. So I go to Slow Roll Society. Man, they have got the rarest rolling papers you can find. They have flavored rolling papers. I wonder if they have taco flavored rolling papers. Man, that'd be awesome. Do you want to get some tacos? But if you go to slowrollsociety.com, you can totally get a 15% discount off of your first order with the code FALL15. Yeah, that's slowrollsociety.com, and you can get a discount. And then if you get a discount, you can use that extra money to order tacos. So you should go to slowrollsociety.com to buy your papers, man. They totally know what's up. All right. I think I'm going to... What were they doing again? Tacos.
First of all, thank you for coming on the show, Keith.
Thank you for having me, man.
So, I mean, a lot of people... I mean, I guess you're almost a household name in the US now.
I wish. No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, you know, we're a smaller show. I mean, we're certainly gaining popularity, but, you know, first of all, you have to be into the genre, you know, you have to be into the, you know, guts and brains of it. And some people just cannot handle that. So, so that takes us out of, you know, the running of some people's households. But we are certainly finding our audience. We have a lot of crossovers from, like, you know, that other zombie show, The Walking Dead, that are really, you know, enjoying our show. So, you know, we are getting some ground here in the U.S.
Yeah, so, I mean, for anyone that's unaware, so basically, besides acting, you're also a writer, director, producer, filmmaker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So basically, you're very talented.
Or I just need a job, you know.
That could be another option as well.
Right.
I guess we'll start with the big one.
Okay.
What was it like to be on one of the biggest TV franchises of all time in Star Trek on Enterprise?
Oh, wow. That was incredibly awesome. It was, you know, a childhood dream come true to be on that show. First of all, I got to be in really heavy makeup. So the character I was playing was called the Suliban. And looks like their heads are made out of oatmeal. And so I got to be in makeup probably like, I don't know, 6 hours before I ever did any acting. And so that was really cool. I mean, to go in and I had like special contacts that they had me fitted for, and this whole outfit. So it was a whole thing. And then, you know, you get to walk around on the Enterprise, and my God, even when I wasn't, you know, shooting my scene, I'd go and I'd just walk around, and, you know, I'd go, I can't believe I'm standing in the transporter room. You know, it was just thrilling. I was just, I had, you know, my teenage heart on all over the place. It was like, this is just so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked at some of the pictures and you can hardly recognize that it's yourself.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite crazy.
Yeah, my mother wouldn't recognize me in it. But it was awesome. And, you know, and then I do have this one claim to fame. I did kind of break the Enterprise when I was working on the show. I was there's a scene where I'm supposed to take the guy and rough him up, and I throw him down into the captain's chair. And we were shooting the scene, and I threw him in the captain's chair, and it came detached from the floor. And so I'm like, oh my God, I broke the Enterprise. That sucks, but it was fine. They just glued it back on. It was fine.
Yeah, it's one of those things where in the shots, it all looks nice, pristine, shiny, and gloss, but actually, when you get close in, it's a bit duct tape.
Yeah. Although this was a pretty fancy set, I have to say. They kind of had it down by then, but it was cool though, man. I tell you, I kept having to pinch myself. Felt like I was dreaming the whole time.
Moving on, I watched the Big Abandoned Refrigerator Adventure.
Oh, cool.
And now, while it was very entertaining, I just wanted to know, how the hell can anyone come up with anything that mental?
Yeah, that's just how I roll. It just sort of creeped out of my weird little head. Me and my co-creator on that, Courtney Branch, we had a day job working at we were at a film production company, or what they did was mostly titles. Anyhow, so we were bored. We are Billy and Sally, quite frankly, and we just there were these list of children's books that you would never see going around on the internet. So children's books you'd never see, like How to Dress Sexy for Grown-Ups, or Children's Guide to Hitchhiking, or what was another one? The Little Sissy Who Snitched, and they were just cracking us up. And so we started to make up our own titles of books. And the Big Abandoned Refrigerator Adventure was one of our titles. Because back here in the U.S., I don't know if you guys had them, but back in the day, there was these PSAs, public service announcement commercials, about how whenever you throw a refrigerator away, make sure you take the door off it, because kids, there have been instances where kids got trapped in them and died. And so, anyhow, so that's where we started. And then we just just kept cracking ourselves up. That's basically how it happened. Was we thought, how far can we go, and how much can we make ourselves laugh? And so we just kept writing, and so we finished the thing in a few hours, and then we thought, this is really funny. This is really good. We should have someone animate it. And the reality is that no one wanted to do it for free because we didn't have any money. So it took us maybe a couple years to finally go, well, screw it. We'll just do it with dolls. Let's just do it with dolls. And so which was better. It was better than having it animated. So we made a little fucked up doll movie. And, yeah, I'm really proud of it. I love it. I think it's, and we've got a couple more of them, there are a couple, and we still have a couple more that are written that we haven't even, made yet. That's someday we'll get them made. But yeah, they are really, Billy and Sally really is Courtney and myself. There are our alter egos.
But so I know that what makes it extra creepy is the very well-spoken voiceover work.
Thank you. Yeah.
That runs over the top of it, which...
Yes.
It kind of sounds a bit like an English accent.
Well, I wanted to have it sound, a little, one like a children's story to a degree, but also have a sort of regal and, soothing sound to it. So I threw a little bit, I went a little in that direction just to sort of class it up, you know what I'm saying?
So I guess we'll move on into the... I keep trying to say it's Z Nation, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, for us it's Z Nation. For you it's Z... What do you say? Z Nation?
Yeah.
With Z, Z-E-D? Like Z?
Yeah, Z.
I like that better. Z Nation.
I mean, it's... For Z Nation, Z Nation actually sounds alright, but for something like World War Z, it just doesn't sound very good.
Right. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's... I don't know, the Americanisms of stuff.
Right.
But I guess it's taken over the world now.
Mm-hmm. We're invading.
Talking about Z Nation,
Mm-hmm.
when did you first hear about that show?
Well, my involvement with the show came. Let me explain. I was actually working at the Asylum. The Asylum is one of the producers of the show, and I was working there in the offices because I needed a job, and so I was an employee there. My job was stage manager, and that basically meant make sure there's enough toilet paper in the building. Make sure, that everyone has a desk and a chair, or there's vomit on the front of the building. Someone hose it off. It was exciting and thrilling work. But I needed a job. I needed to make some money, in between acting gigs here in Los Angeles. And sometimes that's how it works. In my business, you're not always on a series. You're not always, on a show. So that was my day job. So I was working there at the company, and I had been there for 2 years, 3 years maybe, and I'd done some stuff with them. They knew I was an actor, and it was a great job for an actor because one. I'm in my industry. I'm not working in my industry, but I'm surrounded by it. But also, I go and they were cool with me doing auditions, going away and doing auditions and stuff like that when I needed to. So anyhow, I was there from the get-go when they conceived of doing a television show. And so I had done some stuff with them. I'd been an actor in a couple of their films. They make a lot of really low-budget movies. And so I'd been an actor in a couple of their films. I'd also written and directed one of their a feature for them. And then also written a few scripts, a couple zombie movies, actually. So they knew me both as an actor and as a director and as a writer at this point. So when they were writing the show in the office, they brought in a team of writers and the show creators, and so they used our facility to conceive of the show. So I was surrounded by it for months before it ever happened. But they were sort of off doing their own thing, the writers, because they weren't part of our team. So they were sort of doing their own thing. So I really didn't know much about what the show was. I knew it was a zombie show. That was about the extent of it. And, and I knew some of the people involved just briefly. I'd meet them at, the coffee machine and stuff like that. But that was about the extent of it. And then when they were auditioning finally for the show, because they were there for, about 3 months, conceiving of the show and the script, they were like, we want you to audition for the show. And so I'm like, well, great. I would love to do that. I'm sure, any chance you get to audition for a series. Absolutely. So I heard about it early on, but I wasn't really involved with the show. I was just sort of on the periphery of it. And, so I auditioned for the show probably about 7 times before I booked the role. And, that was tough because after a while you're like, I'm never going to get this. I am never going to get this role. They're going to give it to some other schmoo who's been on a show before or whatever, who's had a series before or who's used to be a star in the 80s or whatever. And, so after, 7 auditions, I'm like, yeah, sure. All right, whatever, So that's kind of how it happened. And then I got the job.
Yeah, from what I can gather on some stuff I've been reading, the people who you were working with, you were the last to know, basically.
Yep. Yeah. I was, I literally got the job on a Friday around 4:00 in the afternoon. And, they're like, okay, we need you up in Spokane shooting by Tuesday. So it was literally throw a bunch of shit in the car and drive for, 18 hours and get on set, find a place to live and get on set. So, Yeah, it was really wild. It happened so quick for me, once I got the job. And, it was thrilling. But yeah, I really didn't have time to think about it. I actually took one day to panic. I like, because you're uprooting your life. You have to leave everything in your home, and I had a cat, and I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You leave town for 5 months, and that's a big move. And so I took one day to just panic on the couch the whole day. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then finally I had to just get up and do it. So
you said it was like a 5-month shoot?
Yeah, the first season was about 5 months.
Because in the UK, our series get made in a block, and we play the whole series out. Mm-hmm. Whereas in the US, it's generally like you get a mid-season break.
No, we didn't do that. We did the whole shoot in 5 months. Yeah, we did not get a mid-season break. So, and
I guess season 2 was very quickly commissioned and done straight after.
Well, we had about 6 months in between, because they have to write it. You get to the point where the show's been renewed, and so they're like, okay, so now the writers have to go to work and conceive of what the new season will be like, and so that's several months of preparation for that. So season 2 we had probably, I guess, 6 months in between, I think, and then season 2 we did 6-month run on that because we did 15 episodes on the second season as opposed to 13.
I mean, season 2 has just started in the UK last week.
Uh-huh.
And from the first episode, I can tell there's been a lot more budget put into the show.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, there's certainly up the game on this second season. It's got more of everything. They've sort of upped the ante on the production values, wardrobe, and my makeup has changed completely, and and also the stories, the action and stuff is just amped up quite a bit in the second season. So it's we hit the ground running on this season.
I mean, as you said, your makeup's changed in the second season. Now, I'm actually colourblind, but from the look of things, it looks like your skin's like a blue sort of colour.
Right. Uh-huh. Yeah.
I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah. Well, they desaturate the color in the show quite a bit, so it's much bluer in real life than it is on the TV. It's the show creator decided after I had shed my skin, they wanted me to have a new look, so to really signify Murphy's, changing, and so they decided to go with blue. He said he wanted me to look like rotting meat, sort of when it kind of gets that blue tinge to it. And so that was the stepping off point for my new look.
I was watching your Twitter feed, and I saw that you were answering people's questions about how long it takes for your makeup and all your bite marks and things like that. I was wondering if you could just go into some details about that, please.
Right. Yeah. Well, it is grueling. I mean, it's every day for me. It's which is, I was featured quite heavily in this season, so I was on set, close to every day. 2 hours just to do my face and my hands, and that's with 2 people working on me. So that means my makeup team and I are usually the first ones on the set, or first ones, there. And they do 11 layers of color on me. It's not just little slap some blue on him and he's good to go. It's pretty extensive. I mean, Corinne Foster, who is the head of my makeup team, and Synapse Effects, they do all of the makeup for the show. So they do all the zombies, all the guts and blood and gore. So they do all the effects and also all the beauty makeup. So all the girls that look pretty, they do that makeup too. So, they do it all. But Corinne, who designed my makeup, puts a lot of thought into what my look is going to be, and how that's going to change. If you look closely throughout the second season, you'll see a slight shift of how my makeup starts to make me look more tired and exhausted and drained. And so it's a subtle shift, and you might not notice it if you're not looking for it. But, it's there's a lot of detail that goes into it. And then if we do the scars on me, that's about 5 hours in the makeup chair and that's with 2 people again working on me. So it's a lot. I tell you, I should be gaming or something. There's a time when I could be doing something, but really not, because you can't really. I can't really use my hands because I can't get in their way. So even just reading a script can be difficult sometimes, because they need to have access to my face and they need to have access for my torso. And so, quite frankly, a couple times I've fallen asleep while they were doing it. Because you get there at 3 o'clock in the morning to start, which, that's tough, because that means you're getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you get there and you lay down and they start slapping stuff on you. It's a tough gig. It ain't for the weak at heart, And then you gotta take it off. And then it's not just, can't just wash it off. This is all alcohol-based makeup, and so it's, it has to be removed with these special removers, and that takes a team of people to remove it also, especially with the scars, because the scars are like 8 separate latex pieces, which are all like hand-painted, and, it's a huge process. But that being said, I think it looks brilliant, and, I think it's an integral part of, a monster show. You gotta have monster makeup. And so, that's why, I'm happy to do it, even though it is really taxing.
For me, I think on season 2 the bite marks have started to heal.
Yeah.
Because in the first season, when you lifted the shirt up, it actually was quite good to sort of see the detail.
Right.
But moving on into more zombie fields. I'm just wondering, what would you say has the most fleshed out sort of like the zombie world in a movie or TV show, but not including Z Nation?
What has the most what?
Like fleshed out world.
Oh, well, I don't know. I think. Well, there was World War. You mean it was shows or?
Yeah, either movies or TV shows.
I thought World War Z was a pretty brilliant depiction of what the apocalypse would really look like. Did you see that movie?
Yes. Yeah. It actually got really bad reviews, but I actually really liked it.
I liked it too, and especially I was really impressed with the hordes. The group scenes of how terrifying the zombies looked. They were fast, and they could climb, and they were vicious, and it was like being overrun by army ants. And I thought I loved the look of that film. I thought, that's what a scary apocalypse overrun looks like. Not some slow marauding, stumbling zombies, but these really fast and fierce and ferocious, beasts. I thought that was really, really good. As far as I'm actually going to see Dawn of the Dead tonight, which is cool. They're here in the U.S. They're playing it at a old movie palace down here in downtown L.A. So I'm very excited to go see that on the big screen. That's going to be cool. The 1974 George Romero zombie film.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I'm going to go see that tonight. But I also, one of my favorites is Shaun of the Dead. Did you see that movie?
Yes, I did.
I think it's brilliant. I think, and I love it because I love comedy and horror mix. I love it when you balance those two out. And so you get a little of both. That's really my favorite stuff, and that's one of the reasons why I'm really fond of my show, is because I think we do that in every episode on a daily basis. We have some very, very funny moments, and then we have brains getting blasted in and guts getting pulled out, so. And then we have some really nice, heavy, dramatic moments. So I think, one thing our show is doing really right is balancing all of those elements. So the audience it's getting such a variety when with our show.
Yeah, I was just going to have a look. I've completely blanked on the name of the actual zombie movie. It's the one where Oh God, I've even blanked on the name of the actor. Let's have a look at the actor. Nicholas Hoult. What the hell was it? Warm Bodies.
Oh yeah, that was the one where he was like a teenager, and he's becoming, and he befriends the girl who's the non-zombie, right?
Yes, and it starts becoming more human.
Yeah, I love that movie. I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I was really, and again, I think they created a really cool world. I think one of the things I think is most important, in whenever you're doing something like this, and this is my own experience from writing a couple of zombie movies, is, you build a world, you're building a fantasy world, and but you have to have the logic behind it. You have to, you have to have as a writer, go, well, why wouldn't they just, how come they don't, how can they, and because that's what your audience is going to do. That's what I do. Whenever I go to, a horror movie, I'm like, why don't they just get in the car and drive away? Why are they still here? Why are they fighting? Why are they running? And so anyhow, I think those are important questions to ask, because the audience is going to ask those questions, And so, but I like that movie a lot. I thought they and the whole thing that they did about the sort of the different levels of zombies with the I don't forget what they were called at the end, but the ones that were almost skeletons and the ones that were really, I thought that was cool. And I liked it. I think it was a charming romantic zombie movie.
Yeah, I think they make the best.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, because, speaking, I don't know if it was your PR agent or team or whoever it was, but sort of like emailing through, and like I sort of said, is there any questions that I should stay clear of or anything like that? Because, one, you're a big celebrity and I don't want to offend you.
I'm glad that you think I'm a big celebrity, but go ahead.
And the email I got back was, no, he's pretty cool.
All right.
So I was just wondering, what is it like? Because from everything that I've read, no one's got a bad word about you. Everyone says you're such a joyful, lovely character. And I just want to know, what's it like to actually play a complete ass?
It's fantastic. It's so fun. One, he's the guy you love to hate, And so one thing that I love about this character is that, I think people can identify with him quite a bit. And I think that's one thing that the character and the show has going for it, is that, Murphy's character is thrust into a really horrible, horrible situation and forced to make choices that no one would ever, want to or have to make in real life. And so many people, I think they're like, they may not agree with his choices, but they can sort of empathize with it. You see someone whose life has been completely taken away from them, whose choices have been completely removed from him, and now he's thrust into this position where he's not even, himself anymore. He's becoming something completely different. So I think people can see that, he's got plenty of reasons to be an asshole, and I don't think people that, that are assholes, they are just assholes just because, you know, they have reasoning behind it, and they don't think they're assholes. They think they're completely justified. And so, you know, one of the tricks is to make sure that, you know, anything I do is justified in my mind as an actor. So any of the choices that Murphy makes, I've got to be able to justify it. I have to go, well, of course I did that. Of course I left the mother and child to die. Yeah, I had to, because that's how we think in real life. You know, we don't go, well, I'm just going to do this because it's a dick thing to do. You know, we do it because we think it's the best thing to do. And, you know, and I think when you're playing a character like mine, you have to find that reasoning. You have to really get into the logic of the person and make sure that it shows up on the screen. And when it does, the people are like, oh, he's such an asshole, but I get it, but he's such an asshole. And so I think that's what my character has going for me is that people can relate on some level. They might not necessarily agree, but, you know, but that being said, it's a blast to play. I mean, I have so much fun with my fellow actors. They're a blast. And I'll tell you, it's like making this show. It's like going through the apocalypse. It is hard. You're dirty. You're tired. It's hot. You're running. I've got like tons of makeup on, and I just want to go home, and you can't. And you're trapped there on set, and you want to take a nap, and you can't. And you know, it's tough. It's not an easy show. We're not sitting around, you know, shooting The Office. This is like the real deal. And the places that they put us in, you know, like the apocalypse locations, they're really like that. You're like, oh my God, it looks like a bomb went off in this place. And they're like, yep, we're going to be shooting here all week. Great. Fantastic. So, so it's hard work. It's very hard. But, you know, that being said, I'm getting to do what I love to do. I'm getting to act, and I'm getting to do it with really fun people who really make it worthwhile, you know, showing up to work every day. Someone's got a joke, or, you know, someone makes you laugh or says something silly, or we get to dig into a really emotional scene and, you know, play around with that now. And then, so it's really cool. And then on top of it, we have a great crew. You know, these people work so hard. I mean, everyone on our set, including the actors, but also the crew, they work so hard. And so it's, you know, when you're in a position like that where everyone's really working towards a common goal, I think we all believe in our show. And so we're not just there for a paycheck. You know, we're there because we're trying to create something that is, you know, a little unique and different. And, when you are surrounded by people that are committed on that kind of level, it makes a difference when you go to work. It makes a difference to be there instead of, you know, someone that's just there to, like, you know, get a paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started watching, like, the first season, mm-hmm. I will admit the first episode put me off. I thought it was, I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It was just, it seemed very low budget, but also, like, the characters weren't great. But then by episode 3, mm-hmm. I really felt that either the script writers or the characters or the actors themselves mm-hmm. pulled it round. And now, mm-hmm. it's actually maybe my second favourite show on at the minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it's really grown on me. It really has.
Well, you know, I think it's part of it is because the actors start to flesh out the characters themselves, you know. The writers have an idea of what they want, but, you know, after a couple of episodes, the characters are infused with, you know, the actors' personalities to a degree. So, you know, and we are also, our show writers and creators are really great. They're really open to our suggestions and our feedback as actors, you know. So I can go and say, I don't feel like I would say this. How about if I say this, instead? And they're like, yeah, Or sometimes they're not like, no, I need you to say this. But, at least it's open for discussion. And that's part of the collaborative process, is that you get to have a voice in what's going on with this character. And I think that really helps flesh out a character and make them more three-dimensional.
Just randomly in the middle of my questions, I've got, what the hell is a kinetic lamp?
Well, a kinetic lamp is basically, it's a lamp that had movement. It was these lamps that I designed because, again, I needed to make some money to support my acting habit. So they were these lampshades that I designed where they do them as ornamental lamps, like for Christmas and stuff, where the heat from the candles or the heat from the bulb rotates the shade, the lampshade. And so that's what it was basically. And so I took that idea and I expanded on it and made it. Instead of just paper lanterns, I made them out of aluminum. So I would make a aluminum lampshade and cut out designs in it and put colored gels in it. And so when you turned it on, it would project images on the walls, and the heat from the bulb would rotate the shade, so it'd spin around and create the sort of psychedelic lamp effect. They're awesome.
I mean, are they actually available to buy?
They were. I don't make them anymore. I haven't done them for probably, 10, 15 years, something like that. But that was, one of the many, many, many jobs that I have had in my life in order to, support myself, so I could do theater or, so I could take classes, so I could go on auditions and stuff like that. You do what you got to do when you're addicted to, wonderful world of acting.
So back to the series. I'm just wondering, like I said, we've just literally got season 2. How far ahead are you in the States, or is season 2 over now?
Let's see. No. We are, I think, on episode 7, I think, airs tonight, actually. Yeah. So we're almost halfway through. It's amazing how long it takes to shoot these, and how fast they go by. You're like, oh my God, we're already halfway through the season. I can't, because it took 6 months to make these shows, this season. And, within a few weeks, we're halfway through it. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm kidding. It goes so fast.
In the UK, we only got season 1 literally about 2 months ago.
Oh, really? Wow.
And basically what they've done is, season 1 ended 2 weeks ago, then they went straight into season 2.
Wow. Oh, that's kind of cool. I mean, you guys are sort of, now, do people binge watch it over there, or is it's because I know a lot of our U.S. fans, because I've had some opportunities to go to some of these conventions and stuff. A lot of people, they'll just wait until it's, out on Netflix or something and binge watch it. People really get into binge watching it over 2 days. I don't know if that's how it is over there, or are people watching it as it comes out?
I mean, the problem with Netflix in the UK, they've got different contracts and deals, and we don't have hardly anything on there.
Oh, all right.
So a lot of people, they actually use proxies to actually get the American Netflix over in the UK.
Right, okay, yeah.
But yeah, we don't have Z Nation on Netflix.
Right.
So basically we have to wait once a week when it comes on I think it's on Pick TV in the UK.
All right, cool. How's the show doing over there? People digging it?
I mean, Sky bought the rights to it, but they said they wanted something to compete with The Walking Dead. So instead of putting it on Sky One, where it's a subscription channel, they wanted it to go on a free-to-air channel. But I think because of that, because Sky put it on not their premier channel, it's got a bit of an air about it that it's budget.
Oh, interesting.
But I mean, I can see why Sky wanted to do that, to allow as many people, anyone with an aerial could watch it.
Right. Huh.
Instead of paying £40 a month to watch it.
Right.
But
Is The Walking Dead huge over there?
yeah, that's absolutely massive.
Yeah, it's massive here too, my God.
The problem in the UK, there's a lot of deals with channels, and you have to have certain set-top boxes to get different channels.
Right, yeah.
So at the minute, I've got a Virgin. Well, no, it's a talk box, but I can get Sky and Virgin channels.
Mm-hmm.
But the AMC channel launched on the BT box, and you have to have that box to be able to watch the AMC channel,
Mm-hmm.
which they kept Fear the Walking Dead on that exclusive.
Oh, okay. Huh. Interesting.
Whereas The Walking Dead's on Fox, which I can get on my box, which there's just contracts everywhere. It's weird.
Right. They make it hard.
So I'm just wondering, did you really pull off your toenail?
I did. I really did. And they fucking didn't use it. Excuse me. I don't know if I can cuss on your show. But they didn't use it. Killed me. Now, I mean, it sounds worse. It was gross. I will give you that. It was really gross. It was gonna come off anyway. I had gone hiking down to the bottom of the Grand Canyon here with a buddy of mine a few months before I started Z Nation. And so my toenail turned black, my two big toenails. And so when I had read in the script that at one point I was pulling a tooth out and pulling a fingernail off and stuff, I told my producers, I'm like, I've got a toenail, and that's going to come off. It's not ready yet, but when it is, we should get that on camera, because that's going to be gross. And they're like, absolutely. Keep us updated on the toenail. And so I'm like, you got it. So it just happened to coincide with the scene where my hair is falling out. And I thought, perfect. This is great. Well, my hair's falling out. My toenail could possibly fall off. So anyhow, my toenail was actually, it was sort of lifting up, like the hood of a Volkswagen, kind of. And so that we put some like gooey blood underneath it, and I knew I'd only get like one shot at this, and so we're shooting, and they got a close up tight on my toenail, and action, and I like go and I'm gonna pull it off, and it's still kind of attached in one corner. It wouldn't come off completely. So I'm pulling it, and it really hurt. And so I start twisting it, and it finally came off. It was gross. In fact, some people were like gagging while they're watching it on the monitor while we're shooting. They're like, that's his real toenail. So, which made me happy that, I could make people almost throw up. But yeah, I did it, and then they didn't use it. I'm like, it's criminal. I had to sue. I suffer for my art,
I know. But, so the last question that I've got written down here is, it's not happened yet in the UK, but you actually become a father in this season.
Yes.
How does that change Murphy as a character?
Well, he becomes very protective, right out the gate. He doesn't, it's sort of when you, I think, are thrust into fatherhood unexpectedly in real life, also. It's one of those things where when you see your child, you become much more protective and much more fall in love with your baby. And I think it was something that Murphy wasn't expecting to happen to him. And also, either was the rest of the gang. They see a whole new side of Murphy that they didn't expect. Not only is he, he's kind of a silly dad, with his little baby, but he's also very, very protective of the baby. So yeah, it brings out a new side of Murphy. He actually has something to care about other than himself. and it creates a new sort of dimension for Murphy.
Well, I'll say thank you, Keith.
Well, thank you.
I mean, all throughout that, because I've been watching the series for the last 6 months, all through that, it's just hard not to sort of call you Murphy.
I don't mind it. Don't mind it at all.
I mean, I bet you get that a lot at all the conventions.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. People are like, Murphy! Yeah, people are actually starting to call me the Murphy, which, you'll see in season 2. That's where it starts to go, towards the Murphy. But, yeah, I get it quite a bit. I love it. Yeah, no problem with it.
Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Dave.
Speaking with someone that I would consider a Hollywood star.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Thanks, and thanks for watching over there in the UK. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the show. Stick with it. It gets crazy in season 2. We're going full blown out. So it's a wild ride. It really is, and I think you guys would dig it.
It's not a problem. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, David.
Thanks.
Bye.
See ya.
For the discerning smoker, sometimes ordinary rolling papers just aren't enough. That's where Slow Roll Society can help. They carry all kinds of beautiful, unique, and rare rolling papers from around the world. Slow Roll Society wants to promote a classic aesthetic for the modern smoker with a discriminating and perhaps even eclectic taste in rolling papers. Visit slowrollsociety.com today and get a 15% discount on your first order with the discount code FALL15. Visit Slow Roll Society today and roll that smoke that you truly deserve.
And we're back. Thank you for that, Keith. It was an honour to speak with him. And thank you to, I don't know if it was his agent or an agency or whoever that handles it. I mean, it's amazing how far we've come with Twitter. 'Cause, I mean, I messaged him, not expecting anything. And I sort of just said, we'd love to chat with you. And then he just tweeted me back saying, this is the agency, email them. And then I emailed him saying, we'd love to chat with Keith. I love the show. Season 2's just started in the UK. And they emailed back straight away saying, yeah, we'd love this to happen. And
yeah, I find there are definitely opportune moments you need to tweet people. And then you're pretty much, not guaranteed, but your chances of them seeing your tweet are much higher. So Twitter is a lovely thing.
Yeah, I'm actually really shocked at how well it's sort of... Because like I say, I mean, Twitter's how we've got nearly all of our guests. The only other site I've used, which, strange as it may sound, that's how I first got hold of John Hare, through LinkedIn.
All right, yeah.
To promote the Sensible software. Both came out a couple of years ago.
They say Twitter's dying.
I don't think it is.
Twitter's
Twitter so much more.
The problem is inherently what it is. They don't know how to make any money out of it, so they're spending loads of money into it, and they're not getting anything out of it.
But I mean, the problem is, it's all the shareholders are like, we need to know how to monetize it. It's like, well, not really. Surely, just go back to being like publicly owned, and you don't need to worry about shareholders and whatnot. And you've got so many billion followers, and surely enough, you'd be able to have enough revenue from that to keep it going.
Yes. The thing is, having lots of followers doesn't inherently make you money.
Well, no, but the more people you can say you've got, then the more people would be willing to pay money for adverts.
It's true. It depends on how they implement the adverts as well. But they're going to be like, you can view this tweet after you've watched a 10-second advert. It would just be...
It works with
Spotify. An absolute mess. It works with Spotify, but Spotify is a streaming service where its aim is to get you to pay £5 a month or £10 a month. Whereas Twitter started...
How would you feel about Twitter, where if they were to sort of say, give us £1 for the full year and we won't put any adverts, like paid for sponsored adverts in any of the tweets?
I'd do that.
or you could pay like, say, £10 and get it for life, so you'd never get them.
I'd probably do that. I
You
probably
know,
would
then
do the £10 thing.
you imagine how many people they've got on Twitter, how much money that had raised. But anyway, I digress. Thank you again to Keith. It was an honour. Watch Z Nation. It's an amazing. Do you know those really bad horror movies that are quite low budget, but you see loads of gore and blood and guts?
Yeah. How do we make it a good movie? I'll just show lots of intestines.
It's that type
Isn't
of
that-
mentality, but the main stars are really good in it. After the first 2 or 3 episodes, they really work together, you know, as a group, and it's really quite. It's got its moments. Like there's like a little baby that's a zombie that's running around trying to bite people, and it's just like it's a tiny baby that it wouldn't be able to move, or you know, it wouldn't even be able to crawl. It's that small, but yeah, it's running around, diving around, but it's just funny. So thank you to Keith. It was great. It was probably the worst interview he's ever done.
Yeah.
Or the worst interviewee that he's ever had. Because I was just like a little fanboy going, hey, you're amazing.
You're Hollywood star. Oh, you're on TV. Oh.
I don't know if it was before we finished or after the recording, but it was like, yeah, during that whole 50 minutes we've just been talking, because I've been watching you for the last 6 months, it's so hard not to call you Murphy, the character name, and not Keith, you know, because I'm so used to just everyone saying Murphy. Thank you for that, and please go to our website, which is oneupgaming.co.uk. We have a Patreon site, which is patreon.com/OUG. We have t-shirts, which is bluecyborg.com, and then just search One Up Gaming when you get on there. If you like control pads, go to customcontrollersuk.co.uk and you get 10% off with the discount code OneUpGaming, all one word. And you can get 5% off at funstock.co.uk. And again, that's with a discount code OneUp, that's all one word, but that one's all uppercase. We have Amazon links on our website. So if you're buying anything from Amazon, go to our website, One Up Gaming, click on the link, takes you directly to Amazon. Buy whatever you're buying, but because they know you come through our site where we're advertising Amazon, we get a small thank you fee off Amazon for that, which it isn't much. I think my mum bought a DVD box set of, I think it was one of the Star Treks for £60. I got £2 for advertising Amazon.
Yep.
But every little helps. We are on Facebook and YouTube. Just search One Up Gaming. I think we really need to do some changes because it's quite hard to find. You know, we need to actually probably have proper links or something instead of just saying just search One Up Gaming.
Oh,
right.
to
get to the Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We're on Twitter, so just tweet us at OUGofficial, or you can email us directly at ougofficial@live.co.uk. We're on Twitch, which is where a lot of you people sort of like watch us. I say you people, but I mean LFG. He watches us. And other than that, yeah, just please go to our iTunes page or Podbean page and leave us some reviews and 5 stars. It really helps in the search rankings. So when someone just goes in and puts gaming podcast, it helps us rise closer to the top, so we get more chance of people to actually download us. So this has been the Z Nation special of the One Up Gaming podcast. And it's been me, David, with Zachary.
Hello. Goodbye, everyone. It's been a pleasure as always.
So thank you and goodbye.
Hey guys, Justin here. I just wanted to say that I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you a lot. Yes, you in particular, in that way. And I wanted to say, I think you're great. I've always said that about you. And I was wondering, if you think we're great, if you could give us a quick rating on iTunes, we'd really appreciate it. It would really, really help us out in that, podcasty sort of way. And if you're feeling particularly festive, perhaps even a little saucy, maybe stop by our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/OUG and see if you can't slip a few bucks our way. After all, every little penny or whatever space money they use in Europe helps out the show. Thanks for listening. OUG Gaming will always be free, but with your support, we can always move forward and always be better.